Yes, yo, what's up, people? This is your girl, Kennis and Brown. You call me Kizzle, Sizzle, Bizzle. It's all good. KSB, and you're watching Factory78. Don't blink.
Factory78 TV exclusive interviews here in the UK. Adeshokwe, your host. I'm sitting right next to an inspirational pop star, an African entertainer. I have a right to say that now. I've just met her for the last 2 weeks. I think I can personally say my sister, Kenny St. Brown, KSB. Welcome to the UK. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing good, Shokwe, and nice to meet you, my brother.
yes. You're here in the UK you basically come because the Ghetto Dreamz movie premiere, London, Birmingham, Dublin. You've just come from Dublin, Manchester. First of all, let's just talk a little bit about that. Basically, you were one of the first acts anywhere in Nigeria or Africa to give the Dagrin a platform. You made music with him when nobody else would open the door. What made you do that?
I would say God made me to do it because I think it was a point in his life that he wanted to cut the first teeth. And like you said, nobody was giving him a chance. And also, it was a point in my life that I was at a corner. I was making a bend, and then I needed to come out with something new, brand new stuff. I just wanted to. I was doing mainstream church music, and not that I've stopped doing gospel music or kingdom music, as it were, but I wanted to reach out to the people on the street. I wanted to reach out to the prisoners. I wanted to reach out to the prostitutes. I wanted to reach out to the atheists, to the Al-Qaedas, to the Muslims, to the Hindus. You know, I just wanted a music that will not just be for the people in the church. So I needed to do something that would give me that. And then somebody too. So it was a spirit of, I need a breakthrough, I need a new thing, I needed a new platform. And meeting another person with the same spirit that I must be heard. People must hear me. I must be seen. They must hear what I have. And it was the producer by the name Shaman that brought us together. But before then, I had met him because I put up a talent show like maybe 2 years before then, where he made it to the semifinals. And he didn't come. I didn't even recognize him then, but I knew the name Dagrin. So when Shaman brought him, I was hesitant at the beginning because I felt, hey, nobody knew him. I wanted to work with somebody bigger so that I could be given a bigger platform. But I felt, it was a time that I needed to sow a seed into a younger person's life, a younger person's career, which I always do. I did it with Essence. I've done it with a lot of people. I thought, okay, let's see how it goes. And immediately entered the booth and he delivered his lyrics. I felt he had been peeping into my soul. I felt, hey, that was my line. Where did you get you? Somebody showed you my line. Like, no, nobody showed him anything. And the spirit just tallied. I mean, we were like, right there, we were like a socket and a plug. And it was fantastic. And that's why I said it was divine. It was God that made it happen. And so in that same spirit, I've been going around all over the world, getting nominations, awards for the song, because it was real, it was genuine, it was a spiritual need, and everybody can key into it, and they're getting their turnaround. So eventually he got a turnaround, he got big. People queued up to do collabos with him because now Kennis and Brown did it. Must do it, and it became so huge. So it was God.
I gave my soul, I conquer. When enemies sitting, then they start to wonder. My brother, make you put your trust in Jehovah. That's all. You go the demo, you go the ginger. We must swallow, I go higher.
Now, for a lot of people that don't know Kenny St. Brown, a representative of Kenny's music I've been listening to your music since the 90s. Now, late 90s, you've been in this game for quite some time, over a decade now. The African industry, like I said before, makes it difficult for female singers to come through. So you have to not only be powerful as a person, your vocals has to be extremely powerful, and then your performances on stage has to speak a lot about it. I've been blessed to witness you twice performing now in the UK, and I must say you blew me away. Now, being in this industry, this very tough music industry, with Kenny's music for quite some time, tell us a little bit about the history and how you've come of age.
Okay, I cannot apparently separate my story from the story of Kenny's music, because I was living in the UK in the late 90s, and I had to go back home, and I knew I was going back home to do music. Yeah. And when I go back home, it was contemporary, it was very traditional gospel music they were doing, and I was so far away from what was on ground. I couldn't find my place, but eventually I settled down to do 1 or 2 traditional songs, but it was still the R&B thing in me. And then my brothers were working at Ray Power. I'm talking of Kenny Ogungbe, that's the general manager, MD, Ray Power, and AIT. And he felt, okay, then I just got and I said I was going to do a song. He said, okay, do the song and bring it home. But he felt the song I did could not fit into Nigerian market, and so I had to do something for the I had to blend it, I had to mix it. So, okay, when we finished, we were now looking for who was going to market. And so we started looking around. It was at that point that we realized that the Nigerian music industry had come to an end. I mean, the Sony Music, the EMI, they were just rounding up. And we looked ourselves in the face, and what were we going to do? Because the promotions had become so huge, we couldn't slow it down. There was no Alaba market then. There were no pirates. They were doing, I mean, there were pirates, but they were doing foreign music. They didn't know Nigerian music. There were no market for Nigerian music. I mean, sorry, Nigerian contemporary urban music. And so we looked at ourselves in the face and said, we can do it. Let's start a record company. My brother looked at me. He always believes in me because he knows I have a master's degree and I could pull up stuff, and he knew I could be very passionate at whatever I set my mind to do. I said, okay, let's start. And that was how I started Kennis. So the story of Kennis and Brown, or Kenny St. Ogungbe, that was then, and Kennis music. So it was I was at the beginning, we was parallel. You understand? And we grew together. But it was while I was in it, we now had to accommodate. We realized, okay, we just couldn't be doing me. And we had to bring in the Remedies, because Remedies came out about the same time. Then Tony Techila, Paul played Dairo. And then he started opening up. Okay, now I've mentioned like 4 or 5 names and no female. Exactly. So there I am now. Exactly. There I was as a contemporary gospel artist. The promotions was huge. Trust Baba Keke now. It was massive. My video was out of this world. It was something new. It was like a breath of fresh air. I mean, something just broke loose in the industry. So I had my brother-in-law as the owner of Ray Power, in the person of Dr. Raymond Okwesi. I have my brother as the, general manager. And there were just few radio stations then, remember? It was just Ray Power and Radio Nigeria. And so, of course, we took over. And that was how Kenny's music just pow, 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 pow. Then they would play hip-hop music on the radio. And now there were no people to market the hip-hop music. And we just felt, okay, this was our responsibility again. I was ready to do it. I was happy to do it. And that was it. Okay, coming to me being the female. I got energy from the guys, the male artists. I got so much energy from the hip-hop guys. So much energy from my brother hyping on the radio. And so the energy was also helping me that, hey, now I have my contemporaries, we could do this together. So they would go to the club to do their thing. I would go to the club and go do my gospel music. And I had to represent. And so it was something that I started from the beginning with them. And so I don't get intimidated. I can't stop. For as long as, I'm challenged to put pen to paper, and I discovered I started getting better. Then the hip-hop thing started really, really coming into me, because now I was mingling with them, and I had to just continue. So you cannot be vice president. Then now became vice president Kennis Music. So you couldn't be vice president Kennis Music and not get your own acts on the table, and not get your own acts right, because I was overseeing the recordings of these acts, marketing, and my brother promotions. I was marketing, sales, production, and the management. So will I remove myself from this set? So I had to be, in as much as I was enjoying it, but there was the thing, my original calling, which was to do the singing and branded and had my own face and my name out there, and my songs blessing people, was more paramount on my mind. So at the point I resigned. To focus on, yes. And so that's what kept me on till to date, the energy to just get there. You think okay, it's time to change the brand, you slow down, which the time to get married, slow down, get married, pow, get back on the stage, get back in the studio, record, get back on doing the promotions. You're pregnant, they want you at events, they want you, my brother say, yeah, to take your belly and shoot it out. It's part of showbiz. Yes. So I wore my nice pants and put a nice maternity and push it out, have my lipstick out there and carry my microphone. So even when the baby comes out 2 weeks after, there's an event, is no excuse. I put my baby in the pouch right in front of me, carry my microphone, knowing that having a baby, it's part of a family way, but it's not destiny. You're gonna have your baby, the baby is gonna have your own destiny. Then you're gonna be married, die marriage. Okay, you're married now, you're happy now. Okay, you're productive, good. But is that destiny? My destiny is to sing, to be on the stage, to inspire people, motivate, help others, make my service available for others. And that's what's kept me on till now.
No more tears in my eyes. No more tears in my eyes. No more tears in my eyes. No more tears in my eyes.
Now, Kennis Music, you've mentioned your career with Kennis Music. Now, Kennis Music started back in the 90s, like I said, and brought out such fantastic array. The lineup was impeccable for people like myself. We grew up at the age of the Remedies, Paul Play. They changed the face of music in Nigeria, and now we've seen new record labels spring up with different artists, and all of a sudden again there's this renaissance, like a renewal of Kennis Music. There's a list of artists. We're talking J1, the fantastic Jukebox, the brilliant Joel, Capital Femi, Goldie, Essence. Now, you yourself, Idris is completely taking over as well. Now you've brought out your latest album, has got works with the likes of Terry-G. This is a song that, first of all, the marriage on paper looks like, how could Kenny St. Brown work with Terry-G? But when you listen to the music, I described you initially as an inspirational pop singer. You mixed, inspiration with pop music and gospel. And that marriage with Terry-G absolutely took it to the next level. Now, Muti Goke is the song that I'm talking about. If I'm not wrong, I think that is the lead single from your latest album.
Very much so.
Tell me a little bit about that song and how it came to be.
Goke, 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 goke,
Okay, it's the spirit of I came, I saw, and I conquered. It's the spirit of, hey, the challenges came. I faced my challenges, broke through my challenges, because I knew that my milk and honey was waiting for me at the other end of it. And so that's basically the spirit of the song, and it's written. It was co-written by Eldee Kabasa and with me. Eldee Kabasa. No. I'm talking another song. That's Alaye. Muti Goke was co-written by Terry-G M.I. Terry-G, and it was recorded like 2 years ago, though. Wow. Yeah, but it was quite on point. It was when Terry-G was just coming up, And somehow Baba Keke just knew that, hey, there was something about that guy. And he insisted we should do a song. He should record a song for me. I mean, you don't argue with Baba Keke. It is yes, sir. Because he sees what you don't see. If 2 years ago he said, go and get Terry-G and do a song. And I said, yes, sir. And look at it, he's working. Terry-G, I thank God for his life. He's a church boy. Forget all the razzmatazz, all the swag and all the noise and the roughness. That's just his own identity. And he told me somebody has to represent the boys on the street. I mean, we all can be debauched, cool, collected, in place, and we all can be two-faced. Let somebody be the voice of the rough boys. That's it. When it looks like them Ajegule people are not coming into the mainstream,
And those are
you
the
know,
people that support the music.
those people. So you see, it's a representation from the AJ and the new school, the new energy. So, and I wanted somebody that is so mainstream streetwise. Do you understand? So it worked. So we met. He created the beat even before anything. He just created the beat and arrested me and said, "This is the beat. Sit down and give me a song." I was like, "Whoa!" And that song came because it was a point I was coming out of my stress. Do you understand? So the chorus just came, and immediately you heard the chorus. He loved it. He jumped on it. Turned on the record at the studio, the microphone, and said, "Let's record." I was like, "Record what?" I'm like, "It's okay. This is how it goes." No. And you won't believe it. He wrote the first song right there. The first verse. He sang it. I said, "Mama, this is go and rehearse it and finish it." So I took it home, rehearsed. It took me 4 months to get the energy of Terry-G, to get into that vibe confidently. Yes. Whereby you not drift and sit, because you're going to be doing it where there's no Terry-G anyway.
That's why I said it was a marriage.
So, and after that, I recorded. Even Terry-G was shocked at my delivery. He was so inspired. He felt so blessed to have worked with me on that song. And that was even when we wanted to do the video. He was available for 2 days. So it was like me. I want to win his own fans. He wants to win my fans. But his fans is the street fans. I want to take my kind of gospel music to the streets. And the best way is to use Terry-G to help me get to the streets. And I think it's working.
Absolutely, it's working not only on the streets, it's working in the clubs, the radio stations are playing it here. Choice FM, Afro Beats, they've been supporting your music even without knowing who the artist is. They listen to the sound, played the music. It's a testament to what you've produced out there. To wrap this up, like I've just said, your album, the album has Alaye with Ice Prince. That's a beautiful song as well. And the album is going to be available here in the UK for people to buy in the next 1 month. I think you said something like September, isn't it?
September.
So we're looking at September to get this album here. You have to go get this album. If there's anywhere that Miss Kennis and Brown is performing, you have to be there. I said so. Factory78 stamps that.
And on the album, I have M.I on the album. I have Eldee on the album. You don't want to miss out. Apart from Ice Prince, then you know now that I have Dagrin Turnaround, and then Terry-G. I also have Shaman. I have J1 on the album. I have Jesse Jackson on the album. So it's people say it's the best work I've done. I've got so many awards from this album. I just want to say, Lord, I'm grateful. But I know that you need a turnaround in your life. I wanted it. Dagrin wanted it. He got it. I got mine. What are you waiting for? Don't you want a turnaround?
Absolutely. To wrap this interview up, I mentioned something in the beginning of the interview, and that is that women have had a difficulty in breaking in the industry. I just want you to finally inspire the young female singers and performers out there to follow their dreams and make it come true.
Hello, girlfriend. I want to use myself as an example. Yes, I was so career conscious. I wanted to be on top of my game. I wanted to be the boss. So I went to do, after my first degree, I got my second degree. I have an MBA. Yes. And music still chose me after. If music has chosen you, please follow it. I'm sure your parents now, we have the likes of Beyonce to say, hey, I mean, Mom, you can't stop us now. She's such a good girl, and she's a mega superstar, and a black girl, it doesn't matter. So I don't think anybody is going to stop you except you. You don't procrastinate. You don't blame anybody if nothing is working. You pick yourself up, be inspired. You motivate yourself. You be persistent, be tenacious, be real to yourself. You are romantic. Yeah, go ahead and get romantic, but don't stop there. Pursue your dream. You're brokenhearted. Yes, get a pen and write a song. You can get a song from your broken heart. That's the best time to write a song. You can ask Adele. That's her name, the white girl. Adele. Yeah. I mean, she's making it big from a broken heart. So, hello, girlfriend. Hey, it's your time. It's your season. Don't waste it.
Factory78 TV, Miss Kennis Brown, representative of Kenny's Music. Thank you very much for spending time with you. And we look forward to having you here in the UK when the album comes out in September. Go and get that. See you next time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Motisa.